real honor. I cannot think of a time that I didn't know David Letterman was funny. He is ingrained in my comedy subconscious. I met Mr. Letterman in 2015. We were both doing a show at Joint Base Andrews, formerly Andrews Air Force Base. We were part of a big group performing for a couple thousand servicewomen and servicemen, as well as President Barack Obama. Obama at that time was finishing, yes. Some not applauding. Okay, still on the fence? Yeah, all right. President Barack Obama, yes. Who at that time was finishing his run as the second to last president of the United States. I brought my mom and dad. It was the kind of show you bring your mom and dad to. I'm standing there with all the comics and with my mom and dad, and then David Letterman arrived. And all of us were nervous because David Letterman was there. And then Vice President Joe Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, First Lady Michelle Obama, and President Barack Obama arrived, and all of us were still nervous because David Letterman was there. I wanted to say hello. I couldn't. I was too intimidated. Was my dad too intimidated? No. Did my dad know who David Letterman was? Probably not. My dad is not pop culture savvy. David Letterman, David Schwimmer, and David Berkowitz, the son of Sam, are all names he has heard, but they might as well be the same person. My dad starts walking towards David Letterman with full confidence. It didn't happen in slow motion, but it felt like it happened in slow motion. I tried to signal the Secret Service, take him out before he reaches Dave. They just shrugged. My dad gets to Mr. Letterman, he looks at him, and he says, "Look at you with your big beard. You look like Moses." All of time stopped for every living, breathing thing. And then Letterman started laughing very hard. He said, "What? I look like Moses? Ha ha! I wish I was Moses." My dad made David Letterman laugh. And looking back, I'm not surprised he enjoyed that moment, because David Letterman's whole world of comedy was culled from the feeling when your Midwestern dad walks over to a legend and tells him, for no reason, that he looks like Moses. The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, I think it said to people, hey, take a break from your weird life and watch these fancy people make show business. But David Letterman's shows said to people, your weird life is just as funny as show business. And he showcased weirdos, and he showcased outsiders that nobody on TV ever had before. Yeah, Steve Allen did some of that stuff, but if Steve Allen is so great, how come he's dead? You know, one time, my wife and I were in Italy. If you haven't been, don't bother. I don't know why, I just don't like Italy that much. Anyway, they have all these paintings there, all right? And for thousands of years, people only painted Jesus. They painted Jesus and his mother and Jesus and his friends, and they painted Moses with his signature big beard. It's just thousands of paintings of religious icons. And then in the Renaissance, someone painted a bunch of grapes in a bowl. And everyone was like, what? I didn't know we could paint grapes. That is what David Letterman did for comedy. He painted grapes. Let us now take a look at a clip from the weird world of Mr. David Letterman.
We have 3,400 Alka-Seltzer tablets on this fine piece of clothing. It weighs, how much does this weigh, by the way?
70 pounds.
It's beginning to sound like the Rose Parade, isn't it? 70 pounds, and each one of these buds is living. Okay. And we have the oxygen here, and I have been asked about 12 times by various members of the staff to remind you, don't try this at home. No! Okay, here we go. Thank you very much. If this doesn't work out, Paul, I'd like you to take over.
I love you, man.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Clarice Kestenbaum. For 10 years, I have been David Letterman's psychiatrist. True. Or as the kids say, shrink. As for Letterman, let me just say, if you ever need a solid 45-minute nap, drop in for a session. I'm dumb. People hate me. I have ED. Between the yakking and the sobbing, oh, Jesus, what a pity party. How do I get out of here? Right off of it. Thank you. Sure.
Please welcome a man who still has a Blockbuster card, Jimmy Walker.
Well, people, here we are. The Kennedy Center, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. And look at the diversity in this crowd, huh? Boy, I feel like Ben Carson at a Trump cabinet meeting. And I tell you right now, Halloween is coming, y'all. And as you know, I'm going as a congressional bill. That way, I'll never have to leave the house. But I'm a comic who loves jokes. I love all the writers. And as you guys know, I started a lot of guys work with me in the beginning. Matter of fact, take a look at all the cats that have worked with me through the years, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's all my writing staff through the years, all my friends who've been with me. And of all the people on the show tonight, I'm the only one on the show that you have here who actually hired Jay Leno, ladies and gentlemen. And I hired David Letterman. That's right. So I was hiring white people before it was fashionable. That's right. You know, things happen in this business that are very tough. And when Dave was doing his first show, you guys remember that, the morning show? And unfortunately, after working on the show for a year, it was canceled. And Dave was depressed. And he came over to my house and he says, oh my God, my show is canceled. I worked so hard on this. This is absolutely horrible. My life is over. I said, Dave, do not worry about it. So I said, let's get in the car, drive down Sunset. And you know, Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles, they have all the banners of new shows that are coming. They have new records that are coming out. They have new movies. And we got out and we walked over to Tower Records. And as I'm saying, Dave, things are going to be great. They're tearing down the David Letterman show sign at Tower Records. So that's the way it is. But Dave has always turned the experience of laughs. He's turned everything into a great experience. Things have worked out great. And now, here's one of Dave's most memorable bits.
Jimmy, are you going to do homework all night? Don't you think you ought to watch a little TV?
I will, Mr. Letterman. I just want to finish in time for my favorite show, Voyagers.
Voyagers. It's a fine program. Keep an eye on the clock so you don't miss one action-packed minute. Jimmy, what do you say we go for a little walk, all right?
What about my show?
Well, we can talk about that outside, okay?
Okay.
You know what it means for a show to be canceled, Jimmy?
No, I don't think so.
Well, it's when a bunch of executives at a television network decide that a TV show shouldn't be on the air anymore. And then they take it off and replace it with something new. Sometimes that's a good idea, you know, because the show is filled with bad acting and bad writing. And sometimes it's the executives who have been bad.
This cancel business, it could never happen to Voyagers, could it?
Yes, Jimmy? And I'm afraid it has. Jimmy! Jimmy! Hey, Jimmy! 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 Oh, Jimmy! Jimmy, I've been looking all over for you. Hey, hold on there. Come on. I know how you feel. Hurt at first, but believe me, you're gonna get over it.
You don't understand. Nobody does.
Jimmy, just because a show is canceled doesn't mean it goes away forever. It can live on through reruns, syndication.
You mean I might see Voyagers again?
Well, yeah, maybe in some form or another. You know, Jimmy, I remember when they canceled $6 Million Man. Boy, I thought my world was going to end. But then The Fall Guy premiered and the prayers were answered. Sure, it was a different time, slightly different format, but I adjusted. And you know what? I grew a little in the process, too.
I know what you're saying, Mr. Letterman. The Voyagers, it was different. It was really special. I don't think I'll ever watch TV again.
Jimmy, don't ever say that. Not even as a joke.
What should I do?
I tell you what, I'll show you the NBC fall schedule. Come on. I have a feeling we're gonna find a new show for you that just may turn out to be as good as Voyagers. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And here's a show called Manimal. This one's about a crime fighter who can turn into a snake and a bird. This one is about a chimp who lives in Washington. You know that'll be good. Jimmy, I don't think we have anything to worry about.
And to think I was sad they canceled Voyagers. This is gonna be the best TV season ever.
Maybe it will be, Jimmy. Maybe it will.
Here's North Korea's #1 television personality, Norm Macdonald.
Well, this is the night that we have all been waiting for. The night when we find out who is awarded the Mark Twain Prize. The decision, ladies and gentlemen, lies with you. But before you reach for that voting lever under your seat, please hear me out. Both nominees are fine men, but only one can win. Will it be David Letterman, whom this prestigious award was seemingly created to honor? A man whose gifts to the world of comedy rival even Twain himself. Or will it be Dikembe Mutombo? In the pantheon of comedy, the idea that David Letterman and Dikembe Mutombo would even reside in the same sentence is preposterous. I mean, Mr. Letterman reinvented the late-night talk show. Mr. Letterman deconstructed television itself. Mr. Mutombo blocked basketball shots. I mean, am I missing something here? I'll say it plain. Mark Twain was a humorist. David Letterman is a humorist. Sure, Dikembe Mutombo was the NBA's greatest defensive player, but since when did this qualify as comedy? I mean, I keep waiting for somebody to come out here and tell me this is all some sort of joke. I saw a wild look of alarm scan your eyes. Well, I hope I have made my case. And all I can ask now is that you vote your conscience.
Get ready for a special tribute from Dave's two best childhood friends.
Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely. We're real proud of Dave. He represents the best of Indiana.
Do I remember David Letterman? Well, sure I remember Dave. No, he was the biggest thing that ever happened to this part of Indiana. And he never forgot us. You know, and around here, that means something. It really does.
Dave and I were in first grade together, and if you had asked anyone in the class who the funny guy was, I think they would have said me. I say that with humility, but I really was the funny guy. And I'm still very proud of Dave, you know. We're all proud of Dave.
How would I describe Dave back then? Well, dry. Very dry. Not funny dry either. Just a guy who described things as they were with very little else to it. Yeah, who knew that would be a thing people would like one day?
I remember one day we were playing softball, and Jeff Anderson comes in with his dog, and he taught the dog how to open a can of pop with his paw.
And I said, that's a stupid pet trick. And Dave said, right away, stupid pet trick? That's great. I'm going to steal that one day. And I jumped right in and I said, that's not yours to take, Dave. And he said, Sam, can it? And I said, Dave, I need this. And, you know, he ignored me and he just gave his little Dave laugh.
But, yeah, we're proud of him, and I couldn't be happier.
Here's our old high school. Oh, yeah. The whole NBC thing was very hard for us.
Very hard, yeah. Because, you know, we consider Dave family. You know, he's one of our own, and we did not like how that went down.
And before that, I was a big Leno fan, but after that, I never watched more than his opening monologue.
I mean, you had to watch the monologue.
You know, Jay's monologue. So many jokes.
But after the monologue, I promise you I'd switch right over to Dave.
Depending on who the first guest was.
Right, depending on first guest, of course. So in town, we had this iron pencil factory. They made these pencils. They were heavy-duty industrial pencils. They were very heavy. And my dad worked there. He used to, you know, stuff the lead into the wood. And he'd come home drunk. And, well, he'd try to throw these pencils at us. And all six of us, you know, the kids in the family would have to duck. And the pencils would go right through the window. And they'd break the windows. And it was scary. I confided in Dave about it, and he said, oh, the pencils break the windows? That's funny. It wasn't funny. But he thought it was a riot, and he wanted to use it in his show.
Yeah, one person's tragedy is another person's gold mine, I guess.
We're happy for him. We're happy for Dave.
You know, Letterman isn't really his last name. No, Dave really just liked Letterman jackets. His real name is Dave Parka.
Now, Dave, was he the funniest guy in Indiana? You know, no. But can you name a funnier guy who left Indiana?
Mike Pence.
Mike Pence. I forgot about Mike Pence.
So, yeah, congrats, Dave. The Kennedy Center Mark Twain Prize.
JFK, Mark Twain, and Dave.
Yeah, two legends and Dave.
And now, once again, for your listening pleasure, A man whose presidential campaign has raised over $85. Martin Short.
Thanks for remembering. Thank you so much. Hey, David. How are you? Pa, you look fabulous. How people don't change.
No,
listen.
thank you.
Paul looks like what Vin Diesel sees in a mirror when he's clinically depressed. Paul! Yeah! It's a sold-out crowd right here at the Kennedy Center, holding champagne flutes, taking a swig. When a red carpet A-list horde gives out just one award, then this must be the end of something big. Dave was the TV king for more than 3 decades. To be his guest, no less the ultimate gig. Joaquin Phoenix lost his wits. Drew Barrymore flashed her smile. Oh, Dave, you were at one time something big. Dave sent his mother off to cover the Olympic Games. She boldly braved the Norway cold. But even on a night the show might have been kind of bronze, Dave's mother, David, was always gold. We got to know Paul and Alan and Rupert, and even the smoking baby having a cig. David introduced us to these guys. Now we give him the Mark Twain Prize to honor how he once did something big. So Dave is overdone with Bonito, and I say that with a love and not as a dig. So except for the Netflix deal that's paying you 15 mil, let's raise a glass with loads of cheer for a kiss goodbye to your career. It was something big.
Talking my language.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man who was just crowned Mr. Deep State 2017, Senator Al Franken.
Thank you. Good evening. It means so much to me to be included tonight in honoring David Letterman alongside of so many of my old friends from my years in comedy. And now, and I want to say to them, do not for 1 minute think that what you do is any less important than what I do here in Washington, even though it is. Now, many of you associate me with the 15 seasons I did at Saturday Night Live, and now some seasons were better than others, and the 1985-86 season was not one of our best, and I was one of the producers. So I get a call from the TV critic at the Philadelphia Inquirer, and she says to me, why doesn't Saturday Night Live do risky material like the Letterman show? So I asked her if she could give me an example of something that David was doing on his show that was risky, you know, comedically risky was what she was asking. And she said, the monkey cam. Now, just to refresh your memory, here's a little clip of the monkey cam.
Attaboy, Zip! Thank you very much. Thank you, Zip.
Now, I told the critic there is nothing risky about the monkey cam. It's hilarious, it's brilliant, it's not risky. If you put a chimp out there on the stage with the camera mounted on its head and cut to that point of view, you're going to get laughs. This was a sure thing. This was comedy gold. It was also a perfect example of what made David's show so groundbreaking, so surreal. David was the innovator who changed late night forever. He hosted his show for 33 years, making him the longest-serving late night host in history. And since retiring from his show, he has been enjoying himself and his family and doing a project here and there on issues that mean something to him, like the existential threat of climate change, something that's been a focus of mine in the Senate. I mean, I have 3 grandchildren. And I don't want them 50 years from now saying to me, Grandpa, you were a United States Senator, you knew climate change was happening, why didn't you do anything? And also, why are you still alive? Because I will be 116. Anyway, that's why Dave and I put out a few web videos on the subject. I think this demonstrates David's range from monkey cam to climate change. Please take a look.
Now, I was encouraged down in the lobby of this building, people from your home state here to support legislation to stop climate change.
They were very encouraged to see you here. I told them that your beard is a carbon sink. so it was storing carbon.
Mm-hmm. Right, which is a good thing.
It's a very good thing. And Dr. Blaise Sheridan here, my staff, is going to, we believe in science.
Nice to see you.
And he's going to take a little clipping of your beard.
Is he a doctor or a barber?
You know, in medieval times, they were the same thing.
Will there be any disrobing required?
No, we're just going to take a little bit. Is that all you need, Doctor? Okay, well, he's going to go analyze that, and we're going to see how many acres of rainforest your beard is the equivalent
Protecting,
of.
yeah. Right there, a practical lesson.
Doctor, how did it come out?
It's about equivalent to an acre of Bolivian rainforest.
Just that?
Just
Yeah.
that.
Damn good. They had to send half a dozen people out for a lab coat for this.
And now, all hail the reigning Mark Twain Prize recipient, the legendary Bill Murray!
What a rain it has been. I can't tell you. You are anointed. You rise above all your fellow men and women. Hello down there. You're going to love it, Dave. So much comes with it. It's so fantastic. It's just so... I'm hungry. Feed his box. Feed him in his box. Harry, I want you to be a generous prince. Throw a pickle to your people, Harry. Toss a pickle. All right, a tomato then, a tomato. He's going to be a good one. It's just amazing what you are able to do. Dave, you're going to love it. You will be able, as the Twain, we just call ourselves the Twain. You will be able, as the Twain, to walk up to any man or woman and take a burning cigar from their mouth and finish it. You will be able to board any riverboat. This suit is going to be waiting for you backstage. You're not exactly a god, but way up there. Yes? But this is what it's like. As the supreme ruler, I often find difficulty putting into words how I feel about my greatness. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've asked my little Irish jester to write something that I could read to myself before I went to sleep. It goes a little something like this. What a wonderful bird the frog are. When he stand, he sit almost. When he hop, he fly almost. He ain't got no sense hardly. He ain't got no tail hardly either. When he sit on what he ain't got almost. There was a time a few years ago when Dave had some uncertainty in his life. He wasn't sure whether he wanted to be a stand-up comedian, a talk show host, or just one of those pompous people. So he tried a few things, and I want to show you a moment that we're glad passed. When the future king tried his hand at the food service industry.
So here now, me working my part-time job at the Taco Bell out there in New Jersey.
Taco Bell.
How was your weekend?
Good. How was yours?
It was okay.
I had family come over for a visit, and
Between you and me, I didn't really get my ass out of the hammock all weekend.
Hello, somebody out there?
Yeah, I want 1 free cheese melt with no beef. Do you make it with chicken or no?
Actually, today we're making them with goat.
Well, they had 2 salt taco supremes.
Yeah.
2 salt taco supremes.
Right.
You got that?
Okay, let me interrupt here, sir. I'll tell you what. When you're done eating your lunch, do me a favor.
You gotta swear you'll do this, all right?
What?
Take your car to Tune Up Masters.
Oh, I'm gonna get that fixed.
I'm gonna have to ask you to speak up. I can hardly hear you.
I want 2 tacos supreme soft, and 1 original.
Okay, the Taco Supremes, we only have them in the hard.
All right, I'll take 2 hard ones and also a 99-cent 3-cheese melt.
4 Taco Supremes and 1 Nacho Supreme.
Can you order a little more food?
What?
But I am 1 Taco Supreme away from being Employee of the Month. You know, when I call
out beverage, you say Roger.
Pepsi.
Roger.
Diet Pepsi.
Roger.
Slice.
Roger.
Mountain Dew.
Okay.
Slice.
Roger.
I'm not going to pay for 8 and 2 tacos.
Yeah, but I'm going to put you down for 8. You understand what I'm saying?
So the paperwork will look like you ordered 8.
All right, no problem.
And I'm going to have to charge you for the whole thing. And then, if you give me your address, I can reimburse you.
Not thanks, buddy. I ain't doing that.
I'll just send you like a check in a month.
Dude, man, I don't have any more money. What do you want me to do?
Listen to me. I'm going to give you the money
back, all right?
Look, forget it then. Jesus.
You come in.
You take the order, and when you come to the window, like you don't know me, okay? How you doing? We don't know each other, right? We don't know each other. All right, yeah, that's all right. Good. We'll take care of your order.
1 small Pepsi.
All right, no, slow down, ma'am. I am very, very tired. I am just getting over the worst case of stomach flu I've ever had in my life.
You sound familiar.
I'm the manager, Kenny.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
We'll get you your food. You'll be on your way.
Are you Howard Stern?
Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Obama.
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry I can't be with you in person tonight, but I am thrilled to have the chance to join you by video to congratulate Dave Letterman on winning this year's Mark Twain Prize. See, the thing about the best comedians is that they aren't just funny, they're also whip smart. And that's what I love most about Dave, that he is always such a knowledgeable and passionate interviewer who cares deeply about a wide range of issues. And of course, Dave is also incredibly funny. And for over 30 years on late night TV, no matter what was going on in our lives, we all knew that Dave would be there for us when we needed a laugh. He put things in perspective. He gave us a break from the difficult news of the day. And he always, always reminded us not to take ourselves and others too seriously. Barack and I are thrilled that on the 20th anniversary of the Mark Twain Prize, the Kennedy Center has chosen Dave to receive this honor. Dave, we are so proud of you, and we are grateful to you for all the humor and joy you've brought into our lives. We love you. Thank you so much.
What you taking my picture for? Who you gonna show it to? They say, I got a picture of Richard Pryor. Who gives a
I wouldn't want to be president. I wouldn't want to be certainly vice president. I don't want to be second anymore. I'd like to be secretary of treasurer. At least you get to look at the money, you know.
I'm standing here because Sid Caesar and Mel Brooks and Mary Tyler Moore and Dick Van Dyke and Steve Martin were in my life. That's the truth.
We must pick ourselves up by our bootstrings and laugh. We have to. We have to.
Today at the National Zoo, they gave me a box of animal crackers. And when I looked inside, there wasn't nothing there. They had eaten up each other.
I did read the wit and wisdom of Mark Twain on the plane ride down yesterday. And just leafing through the first few pages, you can tell that he's a really good writer.
And it has been a great honor here to be here tonight at the Kennedy Martin Center. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say anything.
Whenever I think about Mark Twain, one thing comes to mind: Cliff Notes.
They say that funny people often come from
a difficult childhood or a troubled family. So to my family, I say, they're giving me the Mark Twain Prize for American humor. What did you animals do to me?
I want to thank the Kennedy Center for being one of the few places that upholds comedy as what it truly is, an art form.
This is very encouraging. I mean, it was a long time in coming, but I understand because there are so many people funnier than I am, especially here in Washington.
See, I always liked the way Mark Twain looked. You know, the shock of white hair, the handsome chiseled features. Of course, if he looked like that today, he'd probably be replaced by a younger, more talented Jimmy Twain.
Yeah. You know, they call it a prize. It's an award, because usually when there's a prize, there's money involved.
This right here, this is Chicago Cub Blue. This is what we're really all about. We're here. We're here. If they hadn't won last night, I would have had to have been there because, honestly, I do not trust the media to report the score accurately.
He's a man with a flash drive full of secrets. Paul Schaefer.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are many kinds of friendships, but none more meaningful than the show business friendship. Stepping on the little people all day long creates a bond stronger even than most second marriages. So my friendship with David Letterman began with me as his musical director, and how could I have known then that Dave would become the kind of friend who would show up at every one of my son Will's football games. Of course, we talked work, agents, and PR, but it was a beautiful thing, and I believe that Dave would run into a burning house to save my children, and I hope you know, Dave, that I would do the same for you, should you someday feel comfortable enough to tell me where your house is. Now, a phrase I swore that I would never use. Here it is. But all kidding aside, ladies and gentlemen, David, congratulations on this honor. It is so well-deserved. You changed comedy, you changed television, you changed my life. Thank you for everything, and I mean that with the love and the sincerity and the thing and the whatever. Dave has a particular appreciation for American music. And one of his all-time favorites was Warren Zevon, who would often conduct the band for me. Yes, we remember him so fondly. I loved Warren just as Dave did, and here to sing one of the great Warren Zevon songs, Mr. Eddie Vedder.
Good evening. Dave, let me thank you, because if it weren't for you, I probably wouldn't have known who Warren Zevon was. So it makes it a real honor to get to sing one of his songs for you.
Shadows are falling and I'm running out of breath. Keep me in your heart for a while. Yeah, if I leave you, it doesn't mean I love you any less. Keep me in your heart for a while. Yeah. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. heart for a while.
And now, the moment you have all been waiting for, tonight's Top 10 list. The top 10 differences between Mark Twain and Dave Letterman. Number 10, Jimmy Kimmel.
Dave's name isn't Mark.
Number 9, Steve Martin.
Twain never lied to me about being a fan of the banjo.
Number 8, Jimmy Walker.
Twain never finished the show and sat in a dark office weeping for 3 hours.
Number 7, please welcome Chris Elliott.
I'm sorry, Dave. I was sound asleep backstage. I said, what are you doing out here? Like a little top 10 kind of thing? What is that? Like a lot of jokes, something like that? Yeah, I don't do jokes. But I'll give you a little soft shoe. Paul, there you go. There we go. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Mark Twain. Okay.
Number 6. Amy Schumer.
Mark Twain was Sam Clemens' riverboat name. Dave's nautical pen name is Rear Admiral.
Number 5, Norm Macdonald.
Mark Twain was considered a highly entertaining public speaker.
Number 4, John Mulaney.
Twain would have mastered the simple process of text messaging.
Number 3, Bill Murray.
Only one wrote his best material on coke binges with Louisa May Alcott.
Number 2, Martin Short.
2 words, Netflix sellout.
And tonight, with the number 1 difference between Mark Twain and Dave Letterman, Paul Schaefer.
Well, I've actually been invited to Mark Twain's house.
And now, to present the 20th Kennedy Center Mark Twain Prize, the chairman of the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, David Rubenstein.
Everyone have a good time? Whether he was dunking himself in a suit made of Alka-Seltzer, putting a camera on his dog Bob, or dropping various items off a 5-story building, Dave always seemed to find the funny in his own special way. He was the everyman and the megastar, all at once. He was the class clown and the valedictorian. He was the guy next door and the celebrity on TV. Each night, he put us to sleep, in a good way. Behind his dry wit, Dave also has a lot of heart. He handled powerful moments of joy, gratitude, and loss on his show with grace and respect. Through our nation's triumphs and challenges, Dave's compassion, mixed with humor, provided a national elixir. Such a giant of comedy and human nature truly deserves our thanks, our respect, and plenty of recognition. You know him, you love him, and you can't give the Mark Twain Prize without him. And so it is my honor to present the 20th Annual Kennedy Center Mark Twain Prize for American Humor to David Letterman.
All right, please. Thank you so much. That's great. I get a standing ovation, and it's on PBS. Thank you all for gathering. Oh, hi, Biff.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Biff, what is that? Do you hear that? What is that?
That's Mark Twain rolling over in his grave.
Biff Henderson, ladies and gentlemen. You know, Biff, because of this award, I am now the most humorous person in the world. Boy, it's, tell me, is it wrong that I kind of wish this could have been presented posthumously? Paul, do you have that?
Yes, I do.
You guys are fantastic, by the way.
Love you, Dave.
I love you, Will.
There you
Thank
are.
you very much. I just want to remind you that I'm in the wrong room. Take a look at the show we've enjoyed tonight. Jimmy Walker, who gave me my first job, and many other people now working in comedy. Eddie Vedder comes out here and breaks my heart, ladies and gentlemen. That was as good as it's going to get anywhere. Martin Short, why has this man not received this award? Paul Schaefer, Amy Schumer, future recipient of this award. Bill Murray should have received a car with his award. John Mulaney, this is the future of comedy, ladies and gentlemen, and God, what a handsome guy, seriously. And oh my, Norm Macdonald, wouldn't you like to drive across country with Norm Macdonald? Steve Martin, genius, true genius. Jimmy Kimmel, the man that got more done in Congress this year than anybody else. Al Franken, senator from Minnesota. I have great admiration for Al Franken. Perhaps there are others in the room who deserve it as much, but no one deserves it more than Al Franken. This really is quite a guy. You know, year after year, people complain, well, you know, Mark Twain, a humorist, but he was also a journalist and an author. And people say to me, well, they really don't, I'm just pretending they do. People say to me, Dave, what have you published? Well, nothing, of course. I haven't published anything. But I don't think we can lose sight of the fact that Mark Twain, the prolific output of this man as an author. For example, take a look at some of these behind me. Look at this. Huckleberry Finn, The Adventures, Mark Twain. That's just the beginning, for God's sakes. Next, another one. Look at this. Tom Sawyer's 50 Shades of Grey. And then keep going. We could go, Tom Sawyer, giant of the Senate, for God's sakes. And finally, take a look right there. It's Tom Sawyer's The Late Shift. Yeah, that's right. When I was a kid in high school, my freshman year, I didn't make very good grades. I was a D student. And I flunked algebra and I flunked German. And then my sophomore year in general studies, in the elective category, I took a class in public speaking. And the first assignment was to get up and talk about yourself. And I thought, holy cow, this is what I've been waiting for, an opportunity to talk about myself. And it lasted for like 3 minutes, and a light went on, and I was a changed person, and I didn't care about anything else because I knew it was all going to be okay. And then I went to Ball State University, and I was working on the radio station at Ball State University. No math, no language. I graduated. I went to California, and I got a job at the Comedy Store learning how to be a stand-up comedian. And then I was on The Tonight Show. I went to California May of 1975. That spring of 1978, April of 1978, I was a guest on The Tonight Show. And here I am tonight receiving this award, and I ask myself, how did this happen? And I'll tell you how it happened. It wasn't because of me. It was because of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, perhaps thousands of people who helped me. And you saw some of my friends here tonight, all of them more talented, more gifted, funnier than I am, but they all helped me. And I would just like to say, we have to help each other or nothing will happen. And there are three things that I know for a fact in the world. These are universal, absolutely universal. If somebody comes up to you with a bag of M&Ms, how does it feel to have my hand on your tiny little head? Somebody comes up to you with a bag of M&Ms, pours out a handful in your hand, automatically, you will start doing this. Absolutely no control over that. You'll be doing this before you know it. If you pull a nose out of your hair, if you pull a hair out of your nose, I don't care if you do it 100 times, each time you will sneeze. And if you help someone in any way, big or small, automatically you will feel good about yourself. Those are the three things that I know. I've seen a guy pull a nose out of his hair. Years ago at the fair. Mark Twain, there's a million quotes from Mark Twain, and I'm going to wrap this up now with a quote, and I hope I get it correct. And it has to do with patriotism. And Mark Twain's definition of patriotism is this: patriotism is supporting your country all the time and your government when it deserves it. That's all I got.
Watch this show online, enjoy additional web-exclusive content, and learn more about the Mark Twain Prize and its past winners by visiting pbs.org/Twain Prize. And join the conversation on Twitter using hashtag PBSTwain.
That's it.